As we have been discussing, that Tibra Sambega Asana Nam. Oh, sorry, I'm thinking to talk in Sanskrit developing, okay? So, Tibra Sambega Asana Nam. Nirvikalpaka Samadhi Prasidati Ityartha. So, if you have Tibra Samvega Vairagya, only because of that Nirvikalpaka Samadhi comes, or Asampragyata Samadhi comes. Whereas when there is a fluctuation from Mrudu to Madhya, Madhya to Utkrishta or Tibra, when there is variation or fluctuation, Ishvara Pranidhanat Bah. So Ishvara has to be brought into the life. So while discussing Ishvara, so how to bring Ishvara in life, we have discussed in details. Prasada Buddhi comes, Chittasuddhi comes, and interestingly, that Ishvara, not the imaginary Ishvara, but who is that? We saw in the last class, previous classes also we saw. So the Ishvara has to be free from what? First he says, look, free from all kleshas and bandhanas. So then only that will be called as Ishvara. And while discussing, also we discussed this klesha, karma, vipaka, asaya, aparamrushta. So that you would recollect very nicely. So klesha, which starts with avidya, adi, 5. Then comes karma. So karma means dharma, adharma rupaha, both dharma and adharma. Vipaka comes karma phala. Then after that comes ashaya. Ashaya means vasana ityartha, the impression that karma phala creates in. So that is when these 4 are being takes place, or this 4 happens continuously, the one who is untouched by it, aparamrushta. But that was not sufficient. Why that was not sufficient? Because one can imagine, this is how all religious people do talk, the description of God. So to take care of that part, so was being highlighted, tatra niratishayam sarvajna bijam ityartha. So that absolute knowledge. So when we say absolute knowledge, there cannot be 2 things. So which implies that omniscience of God. So once omniscience comes, automatically omnipresence comes. Because there cannot be 2 omniscient. If there are 2 omniscients, now one omniscience will cover other one. And if it starts covering, then both of them will never call as knower of everything. It is impossible. So that means omniscience proves omnipresence. And if it is omnipresence and omniscience, automatically omnipotence. So that's why God is omniscience, omnipresent, omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent. So this all-pervasiveness, all-knowing and all power is called Ishvara. When that is Ishvara, and that Ishvara happens to be, that is what we are supposed to see. We saw a little bit. Please read once more. 26. Purvesham api guruhu kalena anavachchedat. So here is being said, even this Ishvara is the teacher of ancient teachers, teachers of teachers. So there is a teaching tradition continues and also considered as the first teacher. That's why Yoga Sutra, or sorry, Yoga, who is the first teacher of yoga? Please, this much you have to, technically you have to say, don't say Ishvara, okay? So if you say Ishvara, because it is called cheating, okay? So Ishvara is right, but technically wrong. Especially from you people, I cannot expect Ishvara, okay? So at this moment, I am asking, who is the first teacher of yoga? Yes, I cannot hear. Come on, or else I'll stop the class today. How many do you agree? Hope. Okay, what choice you people? Because already I showed my hand. I should not have done. I should have done other way around. Okay, I made a mistake. I would have shown this way. Then I would have seen the reaction of you people. Okay. However, thank you. So Hiranyagarbha. So there itself you can see the same consequences. We have discussed Hiranyagarbha in different occasions, especially in Mundaka Upanishad. We have discussed in details about the concept of Hiranyagarbha. Now, when Ishvara becomes the first teacher, so that's why even if Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, Maheshwara, whoever also are taught by Ishvara. So that's why very clearly the God becomes the first teacher. And this teaching continues. And we also made a statement very carefully in the last class. So the statement came out that if you come across any teacher that who does not highlight the teaching tradition, but highlights either one's own self or immediate guru, immediate teacher, one has to be careful. That was our last conclusion. Because if a person does not talk about the teacher, is a rebellious, self-made, many other problem comes. I studied under teachers, you understand? From my childhood, I was born with a lot of things. So I studied, came across many teachers, picked up many things on my ways. Means the arrogance in the person, rebellious attitude in the person doesn't allow to accept the reality, the truth. And there are many other type of people. They do highlight only their immediate teacher. So when they highlight only immediate teacher, they become fanatic. And this fanaticism, suppose, becomes stronger and a bigger group is being made there or created. This becomes a movement and finally that becomes a cult and later on religion. It can be applied to Buddha. It can be applied to Jesus. It can be applied to Muhammad. It can apply to Mahavir or today any jokers. So here one has to see this point very carefully, that the teaching tradition must be highlighted. Not only immediate guru, because this is a very serious thing presently to look at, as I see more and more. However, here when this guru is being brought, we have a beautiful point to observe. Because when guru comes, that means the God is to be understood, not to be experienced. Because guru cannot give you experience. But nowadays, guru means experience oriented, you understand? So being the guru concept comes, or being the past guru, the teacher of teachers, this God to be understood, not to be experienced, is being indirectly taught. Also, if it is to be understood, how to be understood? We need Bachya Bachaka Sambandha, Avideya Avidhayaka Sambandha, the relationship, okay? Little bit Nyaya I have to bring it. So Bachya Bachaka Avideya Avidhayaka, let us look at this word because this is yoga field is very strong, this next sutra. So let us start with Bachya Bachaka. So the Ishvaraha is to be understood. So in order to understand Ishvaraha, you need some word. You need some description. You need some presentation. So this description, word, that which will explain, that will make you to understand the Ishvara is called Vachakaha. Is it clear? So God becomes Vachya. It's very good terminology you have to understand, or else Sutra will not be understood. And by the help of which the God is understood is called Vachakaha. Is it clear? Now with this, the sutra, let us read. Sutra number 27. Tasya Vachakaha Pranavaha. So Tasya means Ishwarasya. Tasya means Vishesha Purushasya. Because we have discussed Ishvara is called special Purusha. So Tasya Vishesha Purushasya Tasya Ishwarasya Vachakaha Pranavaiti. So that means Ishvaraha becomes Vachya, and later on this Pranava is called Vachaka, through which you understand. Now question may arise. Okay, you are talking all the time. Whenever this experience word comes, you twist to understanding. But what about this experiencing? Do you agree that or not? Yes, we don't deny that. Let us look at that aspect also. Same way also we use, which is the next sutra we'll be talking. We call Avi Dheya Avi Dhayaka. Same relationship. That which is to be dwelt upon. Avidheya, God. And by the help of which you dwell upon, called Avidhayaka. Okay? Vachya, Vachaka, Vachya, Vachaka, you can write Vachaka. Avidheya, Abhidhyeya, Avidheya. Abhidhayaka, Abhidhayaka, Dhyaka. So Avidheya, Abhidhayaka. Now when you look at this Avidheya, Abhidhayaka concept, so there is some confusion. We'll be seeing very carefully these two sutras. I am trying my best to make you to see. And how this yoga people create confusion also we'll see it here. That first of all, let us look at this first sutra, then we'll go to confusion and practices part. Tasya vachakah pranavah. So when highlights about pranava, as we have seen in other Upanishads, but quickly we can have a look at here. So when this pranava, which is popularly known as Om, because when you look at this pranava, so how we look at pranava? Pranava is a very simple way of presenting that Vachya, Vachaka, as we discussed, pranava is something by the help of which one is able to dwell upon. In fact, we say very carefully that how this happens, this pranava sabdaha. If we try to look at in Sanskrit, we look at, let us not get into, but we can go derivation. Prakarshena nuyate stuyate iti pranava. Prakarshena nuyate stuyate iti pranava. That means by the help of which word, or you can say by the help of which one can do stuti, one can praise, one can dwell upon, one can describe the Ishvara very well. And that word is called as pranava. And when you look at, that is nothing but called Om. Now that's why when Om becomes a sound and that becomes Namaha, a name, which also we say, Avati Rakshatiti Om, that which protects. And when we look at this Vachya, Vachaka, or this becomes, then we do look at very carefully this pranava. Remember, does not reveal anything. Like how the lamp does not establishes the objects that are there in the room. It does not create anything. But whatever is there, it just reveals. So also, pranava or vachya, or here here vachaka does not create any vachyam. And moreover, also we need to be very careful. This Bachya Bachaka Sambandha is a very beautiful point to observe. This is what we have to get into a little bit in details. Bachya Bachaka Sambandha. Sambandha means relationship. So the relationship between the Ishvaraha called Bachya. Bachya means called Pranava are eternal. Kalpa Kalpantaka. Even if Mahapralaya comes, still it goes to Avyakta form, on manifestation form. Like we use the word sometimes, Pita Putra Sambandha. The relationship between son and father. So how it happens? The moment son is born, now the relationship is there. And not only that, even if son is not born, this is the modern example we give, it is in the mother's womb, Pita Putra Sambandha comes. The relationship between father automatically comes. Who is the father? So that's why the crisis comes in West, okay? So what to do? So after that they want to get married, okay? Just to make sure that there is a father, okay? Nothing else, I'm sorry. And interestingly, even if father dies, still the relationship father comes. Whose son he is he? Means when the son is 90 or 100 year old, okay? You understand? So what I am trying to highlight here is how this Pita Putra Sambandha, the relationship of son and father perennially continues. Means even if father does not exist, continues. Son has not come to the existence, still continues. Then what happens? Stephanie, where are you? Mentally you are not okay. Please remember, all are recorded. Observe today your recordings. Sorry. Coming back to the point that when this Pita Putra Sambandha, the relationship son and father or child and father continues in spite of father's and child's absence. So also Vachya Vachaka Sambandha, Ishvara and Pranava relationship continues in Pralaya also and Mahapralaya also, total dissolution. In the form of on manifestation. Everything get into on manifestation. Again starts continuing. That's why these people start saying, how far it is true, don't ask me, all are maybe rumor, that the sound that they have captured NASA in solar system comes Om. So all that, stories, okay? We have to understand whether really truth or not. How did they capture sound? So a lot of things continues, but let us not get into. What I'm also being, all these things they are looking at from there, they are trying to figure it out, and finally they will prove, yes, it is. This is how they do it, scientists. And here, being this Bachya Bachaka Sambandha, now people starts chanting Om. So while chanting Om, they try to relate with Ishvara. That's why in yoga field, that Om chanting is highly accepted. And some people say we don't want to chant Om. Some people will say Om has nothing to do with religion. And what is Om? you should see this is social media and some talks. Om, like A-U-M, is like Amen. Okay, let's see all these things, okay? Om, A-U-M, Amen. So all are one and same. Please understand here, Ishvaraha to be understood. So when Ishvaraha to be understood, now if the Vachakaha means the Om is not properly understood, how can you understand Ishvaraha? It is like, the word Swami is not understood properly and you want to understand Swamiji. Will it be possible? It's not going to work. However, let me not get into too much in details. That's why in yoga field, they have to bring Ishvaraha, they have to relate with Ishvaraha. That's why they chant Om. Of course, without knowing what does it mean, okay? So most of the people do chant Om just as a sound, as a mere dhwani, just a noise or sound, nothing else. That's why Om. Sometimes dog is getting up, okay, stretching. Om. You should listen to chants of people. It's amazing, okay? Because most of the people look at that Om is just a dhwani, is just a sound. But each sound notifies or signifies, because each sound is connected to something. This is how we have learnt. What is present day education system? Associating a name with a form. Name is nothing, is sound, okay? Please understand. Associating a sound with a form. The more you associate a sound with form, and right time you are able to recollect, you are educated. I was watching in social media. To be very honest, I could not recollect, neither I am interested to recollect, because I know I cannot recollect in my life. One boy, Indian boy in American television channel was being interviewed. So he remembers the longest word in the history, in the world, longest word, okay? Some 45 letters. And second longest word is also some around 30 or 35 something. So, and he was trying to explain what does it, and he was spelling. I said, okay, nothing will enter, okay? So there are people, so his specialty is because he could remember that highest 5 longest words. So first time I heard, I said, oh, is there this sort of language? I don't know where did that fellow pick up. Definitely this will not be in any dictionary. Somewhere, some technical books he must have picked up. However, so what does it mean? What did he do? A sound that was created, or a name, what we call, is being created, associated with a form. Either the form exists externally or internally, because in fact both of them are disease. So that means it is related to, so this more relationship you are able to relate, more you are called educated. That's why in our childhood, what? A for apple, you understand? So if there is no apple, the teacher will show the picture of apple. B for bat, okay? D for dog. So that time the student will understand. I don't know whether I am dog or you teacher dog, but don't worry, both of us are dog, okay? Sometimes I am dog here, sometimes you are dog at home. However, coming to the point. Now, how the form each form is associated with, a sound or a sound is associated with the form. That is how the teaching takes place. Now this Om, especially in the yoga field, being a sound, doesn't get properly associated with the form. Is it clear? There is a vacuum. So that is how Om Buddha, Om Sunyam, emptiness, Om this, Om that. So nothing happens. Om Sri Gurave Namaha, my Guru becomes Om. You understand? Then start chanting the Guru's name, adding the God name. Okay, you understand? Like in India, there was a Swami. He became God. That's another thing altogether. All the popular songs that we had. So everywhere where he added his name. And those groups are very popular all over the world. So now people are copying that. Every dog or god or a godman, dogman, they do the same thing. What I am highlighting, why this happens, especially in yoga field. You go to any yoga center in India or in overseas. Only confusion, number one. Number two, that Om is not understood, the sound, number one. Because the sound is not understood, they are not able to associate this Om with the Ishvara. That's why there is confusion. But Om chanting is a must in every yoga center nowadays. In fact, sometimes they chant, starting with morning, like start class with Om. Okay, continues. Okay, which is good. Nothing wrong in it. Definitely better than Om. You understand? As though you had a lot of food inside, so indigestion comes out. Okay. You should see all these practices. Appa. And please understand, when this Om is being chanted, now this becomes just a ritual, just becomes to draw attention. I remember our Swami Ramsurpananji. He uses this Om word, especially for Japanese, to shut their mouth or to bring them into the discipline. Suppose there is some disturbance, Om, then everybody will know. So if he will not say anything, because Om, everybody understands. You understand? Unique sound. So either some announcement or something or other. So he will use that. I say, Swami, what is it? No, this is the unique mantra to keep everybody quiet. What I am highlighting here is how to look at this Om. Because if we do not understand this aspect, that's why Ishvara to be understood first. Then the word Pranavaha, being Vachakaha, that means being Vachakaha, it is being a sound, it has its meaning, we need to understand. And of course, that is not our class today to discuss about Om at all. But what is to be done? That's why this is the secret, how this yoga people are being misled and how they continue with their way. Please, let us read this. Tat japaha tadartha bhavanam. So, tajjapas tadartha bhavanam ityartha. So, I split it. Tat japaha tadartha bhavanam. So tat means here pranavasya japaha. So this Om to be repeated, to be chanted repeatedly. tadartha bhavanam. So, because being a vachya, again, being a sound, it has its meaning. Vachyartha is what? Ishwaraha. So that means while chanting Om, Ishwaraha to be dwelt upon. And Paunapunyena, again and again, continuously, constantly. That's why it's being said very carefully that when a person does swadhyaya or person does anything, here this pranavasya japaha and tadartha bhavanam is must. I'll give you examples how it works. For example, when we do prana pratishtha of a vigraha, so the idol, the statue becomes idol, let us say. When we do the prana pratishtha, there for 15 samskaras, panchadasa samskarartham, panchadasa varam pranava japa. So we have 16, there are 64, there are different type of sanskaras. Mainly, in short, we go for 16 samskaras. A human being goes through, in short, minimum 16. The last one is called Antishti. Okay. So that is not done by me. So that will be done by somebody. You understand? So the final ritual is not done by me, done by somebody. So 15s are being done. So for 15 samskaras, during pranapratishtha time, for deity, we chant 15 times pranava. With that only, the 15 samskaras are being done. It's very technically, it's being done. Just I am trying to say. So everywhere, Om is being highlighted. Now, even if while doing the swadhyaya, chanting your own Veda, not swadhyaya is not, we'll be seeing this also. Swadhyaya means people is what? That studying oneself. It's called swadhyaya. Ah, fantastic. Swadhyaya. So study your own book. So what is my own book? Frustrated, depressed, arrogant. Sometimes I am frustrated, depressed, or sometimes little bit mind is up. I am arrogant. Oh, I am beautiful. I am great, smart, intelligent. How long? Till next person is smarter than me in front. If the fellow is little smarter or pretends to be smarter than me, so my smartness. However, so here, tadartha bhavanam, dwelling upon the Ishwaraha to be done. That's why while yoga time chanting, especially yoga means people think what? Not samadhi. They think only asana. So in asana pranayama before, you will see what? Close your eyes everywhere. And that time when everybody is, why is the teacher will be, counting people, how many people are there, what is not there, okay? Oh, I cannot do it, okay? Especially after lunch, okay? Oh, continues. Then, after the class also gets over, Om, 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 close your eyes. Now, physically, or you can say technically also is right. But because of lack of understanding, I use this word, with that I'll complete it. I said Vachya Vachaka. So Ishvaraha is Vachyam, Pranavaha is Vachaka. Because it is Vachaka, being Vachya, Ishvara to be understood. But now we do take most of the time Ishvara to be experienced, God to be experienced. Why? Because of Avidheya, Avidhayaka. That is to be dwelt upon and through which you dwell upon. Now, because that Om Pranavaha is not understood, Tadartha Bhavanam. So when there is no understanding of Pranava or Omkara, then people start dwelling upon. So as you start dwelling upon without understanding, confusion comes in. So when confusion comes in, you need experience. Because the confusion can be sustained, maintained. Sophisticated way of maintaining confusion can happen through the experience. If you are not able to have sophistication in your experience, will you be able to sustain your confusion? Try. So we all are working to sophisticatize, okay, if it is in English word, okay. How to sophisticate more and more our, experience. And that is how the confusion continues. It's exactly like, look at, I have one toy, okay, also, okay, I can give you this toy example, okay. Sophisticating with mouse. This is called a mouse, okay. Okay, this is a mouse, fantastic mouse, okay. What does it mean? There is a confusion whether to hold mouse or not, okay. So this is called a sophistication, okay. Look, just an example sake I am giving you, okay. So how you sophisticatize your experience. Then I am confused with this fellow. Because this fellow functions differently. When you go to regular mouse, it's another way. I remember one with this, I'll stop it. In our time, we had first that ball. You remember that ball will start gada 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 sound, and that was very good. You have to remove once in a while. It will be so dirty, and all these things will gather. Then we remove that ball and clean it, and it works perfectly. Absolutely no problem. Then they change the plastic ball to some other ball so that it will not last long. Then after that comes laser. You understand? So when laser one comes, so you start searching why this fellow is not moving, gada 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 sound is not coming, nor God knows where it goes. Nowadays, sensors. So what I am highlighting here is, this is called sophistication. And more we look for sophistication, more we are confused with reference to the experience. And that's why in the yoga field, this pranava and omkara, chanting is continuing, repetition is continuing, and confusion is continuing. Is it clear? More of it we will see. Please close your eyes. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.